Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to be talking about another trading card game on the horizon. This one is called Kryptik. Now, the only big TCG channel that I know of that has actually done any sort of video on this is Kitchen Table TCG. I believe he did a booster box opening of a tester kit, which was pretty cool to watch. And you should definitely go check out that channel, especially if you get interested into this game after this video. So their Kickstarter is beginning on April 15th, 2022. So you're still early if you are looking into getting into a new trading card game. And like I said, if you see a lot of stuff that you like after this video, you definitely have time to jump in on the Kickstarter on April 15th. On their website, this is their front page. They also have links to their Discord if you want to join the community. They have a Patreon if you want to, maybe pick up some promo packs or just support them monthly. And they also have a tabletop simulator mod. So if you want to try the game out for free and you do happen to have tabletop simulator, you got nothing to lose. So, like I said, this is their front page of their website. They have a really cool, slick looking card art gallery here. These are cards from the first set. I want to say that I really like the card art. This reminds me a lot of Sorcery, which is a video we just did. They do also follow the borderless art style, which is really cool. I like that a lot of these TCGs are following that lately, where they just realize that we don't really care for borders on these cards. We actually want to see the full art, especially since like most promos end up being like extended arts or full arts anyways. So it just kind of makes sense that your card is printed with the full art of the card. But anyways, I love that they are doing that. I really like the art style as well. It's very brutal and in some cases gore-like, just like Sorcery. So they are looking for that like mature looking art style as well. On their website, they also have, like I said, some other links, so let's go ahead and check out the lore page. They have a pretty extensive lore storyline going on here that kind of tells you the world of Kryptik, which is more than I can say than others. Some of these other TCGs that I've covered on the channel. Some of these other TCGs are just, this card game exists because I made it, while, this card game is kind of going for more of the flavor, thematic sense, just like Flesh and Blood, just like Magic the Gathering. They want to have a storyline behind their card game, so I can definitely appreciate that, and I know lore buffs will appreciate that as well. They also have a card gallery here. They're going to have a card gallery for their secondary set called Wicked Prophecy, but Genesis is going to be the set that you would acquire if you back their Kickstarter. So you can go to their card gallery and check out every single card that is going to be part of the set. They also happen to have a print run number, which is kind of interesting. So let's just go ahead and check out the print run number here real quick. So he's listed pretty much all the stuff that he has made from like day one to where we are at now. So like these are, I guess, his quote unquote collection that he did where he was writing the cards on paper. And I can tell you, as someone who has like done some card game development with a buddy, this is something that reminds me of that so hard. It's so funny that I can relate to getting like a blank like sheet of paper to an extent, writing some text on it and saying, let's test out decks and stuff like that. Because a buddy of mine was trying to make a card game and he had the exact same thing going on. So it's really funny to see that kind of thing. But there are some other things here. There is where, he actually printed out some actual art, put it on those white sheets. There was also the Game Crafter test. They got like the Patreons, their play test decks and stuff like that. So if you're interested in seeing like how many of these cards exist out in the world, this kind of gives you an idea of what is currently out there. So let's go back. I believe I have to go all the way back. So yep, So beyond the card gallery, they also have a section where you can actually see how the card game is played. We're not gonna watch this video. I'm gonna definitely let you watch this. I will post a link in the description down below. But if you're interested in kind of seeing how this game plays, that is going to be the best place to start. I can say that the game kind of looks like it plays like a mix of, obviously it's definitely trying to go for that Magic the Gathering vibe with like spell casting, as well as having citizens, which is aka your creatures, being casted every turn or so. It kind of has a mix of the World of Warcraft trading card game, because you can turn pretty much any card into a resource or land, because obviously one of the biggest things that a lot of Magic players tend to have an agreement with is the resource system behind Magic the Gathering. You love it or you hate it, right? Because you either go a game where you draw too many lands or you draw too few lands. It's almost never like a good, equal ratio, unless you just have like the perfect luck going on. So most of these card games are trying to fix that issue. And with the way that Kryptik works is basically any card can be flipped the other way, and there's like an icon called the soul icon can be tapped to produce that kind of mana, or in this case soul energy, to cast your spells. So it's very similar to the World of Warcraft trading card game, or at least that's what I relate it to. And then the way you win is very similar to Pokemon, because you have something called your 11-year line, which is like a line of 6 cards, and when you attack your opponent, you can attack that barrier line, and when they run out of that and they just take damage without the barrier there, they lose. So it's kind of like the opposite of the prize cards from Pokemon, if you can kind of follow that. The video definitely explains it way better than I could, but I just want to kind of give you an idea of how the game works. But let's keep going here. They have an art page, which kind of gives you an idea of like all the artists that are a part of this game. So you have tons of people here. Don't really know where they came from. Maybe he just reached out to a bunch of different artists that are online. And it looks like he is also an artist himself, which is kind of neat. There was also public domain artists, so there's no description saying like what this means, but the best thing I can come up with here is, since these are public domain, which means that technically anyone can use public domain assets, it probably means that they would take maybe like the background of a painting, the face of someone from a painting, and then just kind of completely change it around, use it as like a basis for a piece of art on a card, and then that's how they would get a new piece of art. So you would probably, like I said, as an example, you take this dude's face here, kind of maybe change it up a little bit in Photoshop or whatever tool they're using, and then it creates a new piece of art for their cards. So that's actually a pretty smart way of doing it, just because it's being able to reuse art that's already made, but like being able to use it in a way that creates a new fresh piece of art. So that's actually really smart. Next, they also have a roadmap for 2022 here. They do have a lot of things that they want to do. Now, obviously, everyone wants to do something with their product, right? Doesn't mean it's necessarily going to happen. So they have a roadmap here, but a lot of it is based on if the Kickstarter is 100% successful. Now, I'm sure that the developer of the game has reached out to a bunch of content creators, maybe some companies that can, maybe add some more publicity to the game, get some more buzz about it going, to at least, help them reach that Kickstarter funding goal. But let's go ahead and read over the roadmap. So January, February, March, and April have kind of already come and gone. April is saying the Kickstarter is going to start, and they're also going to have most likely a celebratory Kickstarter launch tabletop simulator tournament. Most likely you can win some promos, or maybe like a booster box from the developer himself if you win. May, it looks like they're going to start on actually developing Wicked Prophecy, their secondary set. June looks like they're going to be actually doing the print runs for the first set. July, it's something. August, they should be done with Wicked Prophecy. September to be announced. November, looks like they would order the Wicked Prophecy printing. December seems like where they are aiming to get product into backers' hands. Now, obviously, that is absolutely subject to change, and that's what I was basically saying. A lot of this is based on if the Kickstarter is successful, if their shipment is on time, if the printing is on time. A lot of this is definitely subject to change. And then in January 2023, it looks like they want to do their big first organized play tournament. But I guess it would all depend on if your backers actually got their product. Unless, they somehow get product at the tournament that people can buy. I don't know. But it looks like they have plans for the game, which is, really good to have. It's going to be subject to change. But, that's kind of a given. Anyways, let's keep going here. And then they finally have a rule book that you can just go ahead and take a look at. So this is, I'm just going to show some of the things I was talking about. So your 11-year line is this barrier here. It's flipped upside down. That is supposed to be what protects you from losing against attacks. It shows your soul row, which is what you use to tap for mana, essentially. It's just called soul energy in this game. This gives you a breakdown of how you pay for cards, how you produce mana or soul energy to pay for those cards, and just a good breakdown. So like I said, think of it as a mix between Pokemon, the World of Warcraft trading card game, and then obviously the root of them all, Magic the Gathering. So I like that it's at least somewhat unique here. Obviously all these games are trying to be very unique, but this game, I can give it to them. They definitely have some unique features to it. It's not just cut and paste. I do like that about it. Anyways, let's go back to the start page. And that's basically going to be Kryptik in a nutshell here. This is a pretty small video, just kind of giving a small oversight of the game, but there really isn't too much to talk about with this game yet. Not until their Kickstarter launches, but Tanner, the guy who is developing the game, has his own YouTube channel where he does Q&As for his Patreon supporters. He does videos just talking about the game, what he plans to do with the game. That is some of the best places to get some more information about Kryptik. Go watch him. Go watch some of these other YouTube creators that have product in hand, so you can actually maybe see some of the cards. See if this is a game for you. And that's basically all I wanted to cover on this video. So, let me know down below if this is the type of game that maybe you can see yourself backing. Is there too many trading card games coming out right now? We're kind of in a renaissance, right? A lot of people keep saying that we are in a renaissance of trading card games because there's just so many coming out, especially with how Kickstarter works. But I just want to know in the comment section if this is something that you'll be interested in. Like the video if you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this, and I'll see you in the next one.